Getting ready to go live. Hello everyone, my name is Shanae Jones and this is KNKY, which stands for Know the New Kinky You. I am your resident certified sex coach and I am here to talk to you today about the female orgasm and specifically a phenomenon we call squirting. So, I have notes, but I want to give you my professional opinion in that squirting is a mixed bag. So for those of you who are not familiar with what squirting actually is, it's female ejaculate. And so we're used to men coming, but you know, the concept of women coming is a little perplexing, especially because achieving an orgasm can be so difficult for a lot of women that when it does happen, and then for some women where it happens in excess, you just really don't know how to kind of deal with it. So it's a mystery. So the female orgasm doesn't just happen because of clitoral stimulation or G-spot stimulation. We'll talk about it a bit, but it happens because you are in a physical, mental, emotional state that your body is responding. It has a physical response to it. So unless there is an underlying medical issue, all women have the ability to orgasm and ejaculate. Two different things. Orgasm is that physical sensation that comes from your body when you are aroused, and ejaculation is that physical release of a fluid. Now sometimes that fluid is a little thick, it's a little creamy, it's white, or it has the scent of pee, urine. And the reason why it's not urine, you're not peeing on yourself. Let's put that out there. You're not peeing on yourself. But because it comes out of your urethra, it has contents that can mimic urine. It has that same physical release feeling of peeing. But it's not 100% urine. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So the G-spot, which seems again to be this mystery, is if you put your finger in your vagina and about 2 inches and pull up along your urethral canal, that's where your G-spot is. You'll feel a bit of a ridge. It'll be a little thicker. It'll feel a little bit different than the other parts of your vagina. It's made up of all of these erectile tissues and about 48 small ducts. And men, by nature, only have 2 of these ducts, while women we're flooded with it. But it's so crazy that it's so much harder for us to achieve this orgasm than it is for men. It's, you know what, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a researcher, but it's so crazy to me. But when you insert your finger and you pull up, you'll feel this ridge, and that's your G-spot. So your G-spot orgasm is going to be different than your clitoral orgasm. Your G-spot is considered your female prostate. And what happens with that is that there's a different sensation than what happens through clitoral stimulation with, let's say, a vibrator or a tongue or anything that is showing you where you are being stimulated in that particular area. So, sorry. When you have this buildup, right, it depends on your positioning as well. So it might be easier on your knees. It might be easier if you're riding. So anything where you are having direct penetration to, well, I'm sorry, stimulation to your clitoris, you'll be able to feel it a lot more than perhaps the doggy style. Now, doggy style is good for other certain feelings, but when you want to specifically stimulate your clitoris for G-spot and that arousing feeling that you get from a deeper place, then, you know, you'll be able to engage more. So different sexual positions help to stimulate orgasm in a different way. So your female ejaculate, it's just like when you talk about eating pineapples, and it can have a different sensation, a different smell, a different sense of, I'm trying to articulate this in a right way for you guys. I really want you to walk away, because one of the things that we talked about was this week, I asked you guys to tell me the things that you wanted to talk about, and this was something that was specifically asked more than once. And I want you to walk away with the feeling that you are going to be okay with it. So a woman on top, lying on her back with her legs raised, face to face on a stool, anything that can kind of get you to that intimate connection where your bodies are as close together as they can possibly be, are going to put you in the best position to experience this female ejaculate. So the difference between clitoral stimulation versus G-spot stimulation is that most women, 80%, it's been studied that 80% of women struggle to achieve an orgasm. Sad. It is. And honestly, one of the reasons why that happens is because most women are not given the opportunity to masturbate and be okay with it. Boys are taught that that's something that they're supposed to do. Women are not, girls are not given permission to explore their bodies. So achieving an orgasm is not easy. Achieving multiple orgasms is not easy. Having the opportunity to, one, accomplish it, two, do it in a way that it makes you feel good, because again, when the conversation started, we talked about squirting, right? Well, squirting isn't always good for everybody. There are some women who feel ashamed because of it, where their bodies are not treating them with the regard that they want. So, you know, they become embarrassed because you squirt and you feel like you pee the bed, and you don't want to wear, it was specifically stated, I don't want to wear rubber sheets, or I don't want to have to prep with a whole bunch of towels. I don't want to have to do all of these things that will accommodate this squirting. I mean, there are a lot of women who don't get to achieve this level of ejaculation, but for those that do and do in excess, it's embarrassing for them. And it's, for me, it's hard to kind of balance that out, I guess, because you want to be able to say, this is okay. If it happens to you, don't feel bad. Don't feel like you are abnormal, because it's something that happens to you. It's not something that you should be ashamed of or afraid of or embarrassed by. The manual stimulation of your entire vulva, your pubis area, that arousal is what gets you to that particular state. And most people have to play with their patterns of arousal. You have to experiment with techniques. just don't put any pressure on yourself. You have to make sure that you pay attention to how the stimulation happens, to what areas perhaps affect you. Like, so for instance, even the side of your clitoris, like if it's your left or your right side, or you know, whether you like it fast or you like it slow, whatever it is, pay attention to your body so that you know how your body responds to it. You have to put yourself in a position to be aware of how you're going to respond to your sexual interest, the stimuli, that thing that's going to ignite you to be your best sexual self. So the female orgasm is a magical thing. And if you are blessed with the ability to have orgasms and have orgasms frequently, multiple orgasms, amen to you. Because it's so difficult for a lot of women. You have to have your head and your body and your emotions all in the right place for it to happen. As a squirter, as a person, and I'm going to go back to say this just briefly, that pornography is a form of entertainment. I have no qualms against it. I enjoy it as a medium of entertainment, but it's not the point of reference that is reflective of real life. And although some women have the capacity to like squirt across the room, don't expect that from all women. It doesn't happen that way. But approach a woman with concern, or with consideration is a better word, with consideration for how it is that she responds to her body and how it makes her feel. You have to be in a position to do that. Okay, so hopefully I've addressed the concerns. If not, we'll be doing this again, you know, every week, every Wednesday. And again, I'm sorry I was a little late today, but every Wednesday at 10 o'clock roughly, we'll be talking about sexual concerns. Read the post throughout the week. I have a post out about things that, you know, you want to talk about, what things are of interest to you. So my name is Shanae Jones. This is KNKY, which stands for Know the New Kinky You, and I am out for this week. Bye.